54회 아리랑 밤에 여러분 오신 것을 환영합니다. 오늘 저녁에 사회를 맡을 이승경 인사드립니다. 반갑습니다. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much and welcome to Seattle, Washington State Korean Association's 54th annual Arirang Night. My name is Cheryl Lee, and I'm a former Shoreline City Council member, the founding City Council of Shoreline. I'm currently in my third career as an attorney with the law firm of Helso Fetterman, and I'm also a proud member of the Seattle, Washington State Korean Association. As I said, tonight is the 54th annual celebration. 54 years, ladies and gentlemen. And it's organized by this organization to really gather, to reflect on the year, and to celebrate. And tonight's theme is all about appreciation. I think many of our honored guests understand that we are here to honor our first responders who have been absolutely critical, especially the past 2 years of the pandemic. So we want to express our heartfelt appreciation to not just the first responders, but many in our community amongst us who really helped us to weather this pandemic for the past 2 years. But you are in for a treat. Tonight's program is going to delight your senses. Be ready, your ears, your eyes, your taste buds. So I hope you all sit back and enjoy the fantastic music performance, as well as the Seattle, Washington State Korean Association's honor to our first responders and an expression of appreciation to all those who have helped to make this year and tonight's celebration possible. Now, I do need to ask everybody, please keep your masks on until dinner time, dinner is served, and then when you're done, please be sure to keep it back on. And it's for the safety of all of us, not only you, but to those around us. So 여러분, 안전 잘 지키시고 끝까지 마스크를 착용해 주시고, 오늘은 우리 소방부, 경찰국, 그리고 우리 한인회를 지난 2년 동안 코로나 팬데믹 속에서도 도와주시고 이렇게 협력해 주시고 우리 한인사회를 지금까지 이끌어 주신 분들에게 고마움을 표하는 54회 아리랑의 나이트를 시작하시겠습니다. 그럼 우리 꿈꾸게 된 격려와 순국 선열에 대한 묵념을 드리겠습니다. 다 같이 자리에서 일어서 주십시오. Please rise for the flag salute. So we have both the American flag, a proud American citizen. We also have the Korean flag. So feel free to choose your flag to salute. 국기의 경례. 네, 바로 순국 선열에 대한 묵념. Let's give a moment of silence to all those that have sacrificed so much so that we can have our freedom. Remain standing as we hear the national anthem. Korean will be sung by Kim Bok-soo, and the Star Spangled Banner will be sung by Sandra England, accompanied by Lisa Jo. Thank you very much, Sandra and Glenn and Bob. Kim, really appreciate it. 네, please be seated. 앉아주십시오. 감사합니다. You know, aren't we lucky that we can all pay tribute and honor to two different flags? That's America. We have freedom, and we have so many who have sacrificed so that we can do this. And I am just so proud to be an American this evening. Due to some scheduling challenges, we're going to do a small tweak to the program. We would like to ask our dear friend of the Korean American community, Congressman Adam Smith from Washington's 9th Congressional District, to provide his congratulatory remarks. You can come on up here. 네, 우리 연방 하원 의원이신 우리 정말 한치타라 그러나요? 우리 한인 사회가 굉장히 깊은 관계를 갖고 계시는 우리 애덤 스미스 의원님, 여러분 뜨거운 박수로 맞이해주시기 바랍니다.
Thank you. I want to thank the Washington State Korean Association for not just this event, this is a terrific event, but for their leadership in our community. I've been involved in public service for a long time in the Puget Sound area, and everything I've been involved in the Korean American community has been there, in education, in business, in politics, in helping our community in so many ways. They really make our community stronger by their active engagement in all of the issues that are so important to us. And that working relationship has been really important to me and certainly important to our community. So I thank them for their outstanding work and for all that they can contribute to all of us here in our community. And it's particularly important to recognize our first responders. Always, just in general, they are so important to our lives, to protecting us in so many ways. But now, even more so than usual. This has been an extraordinarily difficult couple of years. And our first responders in law enforcement, the fire department, and hospitals have stepped up and protected our community. And I've met with many nurses and firefighters and members of law enforcement. The stress and difficulties that they've faced over the course of the last 18 months are really hard to articulate and hard to fully appreciate. But they've always been there, saving lives, protecting our community, making sure that we know we have someone to call when frankly we don't know what to do. I don't think we can thank them enough for that. In fact, if you give them all a huge round of applause right now, I think that'd be great. It certainly is important that we honor them in events like this tonight, but it's also important that we continue to support them in the work they do. Give them the tools they need, give them the economic support, and as you're a member of Congress here in the Puget Sound region, I commit to you that I'm going to continue to do that. Support our first responders in any way that we can for their brave service and work and sacrifice that they make for our community. So again, thank you to all the first responders. Thank you to the Korean American community for all they do. And thank you for the chance to say a few words tonight. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Congressman Smith. I really appreciate it. 연방 하원 의원님 애덤 스미스 감사를 드립니다. 네, 제가 오늘 사회도 보고 여러분들의 안전을 지키기 위해서 우리 마이크 타와도 이렇게 갈아 키웁니다. 다음은 우리 이수정 회장님과 홍문선 회사장님 빨리 여기 옆으로 자리 준비해 주시기 부탁드립니다. 우리 27대 한인, 27대였나요? 한인회가 처음 시작할 때 출범이 코로나로 함께 시작하셨습니다. 근데 네, 죄송합니다. 42대. 근데 코로나를 시작한과 동시에 정말 태스크포스도 만들고 우리 한인 사회 자영업들 여러분들을 많이 돕기 위해서 정말 이번에 특별히 예년에도 그랬지만 올해 임원들께서 특별히도 수고를 많이 하셨습니다. 그래서 이 시간에 함께하신 여러분들께 환영사를 해주실 건데 when the pandemic hit, the leadership of the new leadership, the president and the board chair and the officers, basically it kicked off with the pandemic, so 2020 in March. And they immediately formed the COVID-19 task force team to help small individuals, small mom and pop businesses, and the Korean community. And the officers, the board, the president, they have done an incredible job. And here to welcome all of you, please give a big round of applause and welcome President Susan Lee and Board Chair Hong Yoo. 네, 이수정 회장님과 홍윤선 이사장님께 뜨거운 박수로 환영해 주시기 주시기 바랍니다.
안녕하십니까 여러분. 시애틀한인회 회장 이수연입니다. 오늘 이렇게 아리랑의 밤에 참석해 주셔서 대단히 감사합니다. 올해는 저희가 예전에 있던 아리랑의 밤 행사보다는 우리 코로나 팬데믹과 또 아시안 주요 문제 사건 등 사건 사고 시 제1선에서 수고하시는 퍼스트 리스폰더들께 감사함을 전하는 행사로 준비를 했습니다. 오늘 이 자리에 주류 사회에서 많은 분이 참석하셨기 때문에 저의 인사말은 책자 속에 있습니다. 그래서 간단히 영어로 이분들께 감사 인사를 드리고자 합니다. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending 54th Annual Arirang Night and honoring first our first responders. We are here tonight because of all their hard work. The staff of the 46th Administration, Seattle, Washington State Korean Association began with the coronavirus pandemic. So we are immediately formed a task force team to help our community. I want to take a moment to recognize all those who helped our community impacted by the pandemic, especially first team leaders, Lori Wada, who assisted in bringing $3 million to the small business. And also, by Director Helen John, who provide first and second
그러니까 지금은
dose
지금 어차피 이거
vaccine
쓰니까
to
뭐 이거
over
말고
1,000
없잖아.
people.
사람이 죽을 거야.
Also, school volunteer Kim Sauer, who provided the mentoring
그러니까
service
저분들은 이제
for small business. And
우리는
another
뉴스형만 찍고.
Seattle Seafood CEO Uhyun-soo and E6 Equity CEO Jo Wi-hun and Huon's Global CEO Yoon Sung-tae for donating millions of masks and sanitizer, hand sanitizer, or other goods for our community. And I'd like to thank all of our community members for making this all possible. And also, I'd like to thank Hyundai Church and James Kwon Pastor for always providing a space in times of need. And lastly, I'd like to thank tonight's event committee chair Sang-Dae Park and all volunteers who made tonight's event possible. So please enjoy the tonight's performance, and I hope you all enjoy the holiday season and best wishes for the new year. Thank you.
안녕하세요. 시애틀 한인회 이사장 홍무선입니다. 오늘 제가 인사드리고 여러분을 환영합니다. 특별히 오늘 제가 할 것은 First Responder, 우리 여기 계신 시애틀, 더블라, 어터, 린우드, 폴리스 치프들이 오셨으니까 그분들 환영해 주시고 박수를 해주시기 바랍니다.
Welcoming first responders.
이사장으로서 수전 회장님과 같이 일하게 된 참 영광이었습니다. 그리고 임원 여러분들에게 정말 감사드립니다. Welcome everybody. Thank you very much.
네, thank you very much. 수고하신 우리 회장님과 이사장님 다시 한번 뜨거운 박수 부탁드립니다. 지금 우리 한인사회 자랑이죠. 연방 평원의원인 우리 한국의 딸 메릴린 스트리클랜드께서 이 시간 참석하지 못해서 영상으로 우리들에게 메시지를 보내주셨습니다. Unable to attend tonight, Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland from Washington's 10th Congressional District provided us with a video message. Let us play the message from Congresswoman Strickland.
This is U.S. Representative Marilyn Strickland from the 10th Congressional District of Washington State. Thank you to the Seattle Washington State Korean Association for inviting me here to be with you and for celebrating your 54th Arirang, but honoring our first responders and those who have been so helpful during this pandemic. Throughout this challenging time, our first responders have saved countless lives and they show up every single day to keep us safe and secure. And in Congress, I've been working hard every single day to fight for first responders and ensure that they have the resources that they need. The House Democrats have worked very hard to pass the American Rescue Plan. And in this plan, we sent resources to local communities to get people to get vaccinated, to help get children back in school, and to try and help us get back on track so our economy can get back on track and support families. I also want to remind us that the simple truth is that we would not have gotten control of this pandemic without the dedication and hard work of our first responders. As you gather here this evening, I want to also take a minute to recognize all of you and say thank you for the contributions that you make to our community every single day. We know that during these challenging times, there's been a rise in hate crimes against Asian Americans. And I want to make sure that we have rules in place and a safe place for people to go so that they can report these crimes and feel like they're getting the support that they need from the justice system. So thank you again for all the work that you do in our community. Thanks again to our first responders. And from me and my staff here in Washington, D.C. and at home in Washington State, happy holidays to everyone and a very joyous and prosperous time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Congresswoman Strickland. Very proud daughter, especially from the Korean American community. And now you're in for a real treat. I love drums. And we're going to have an amazing performance from the group 난차, the roaring percussion group. 네, 지금 올라오셔서 빨리 셋업해 주시면 부탁드립니다. Please come forward and set up for us. And they are going to perform a piece called Thunder and Wind. And they gather together every week and practice. Can you imagine when you just put all your energy behind these drums and just beat away? Imagine it takes care of all the stress from the COVID-19 pandemic and stresses of life. And I think that's why many of the folks here are very healthy and strong. And I've seen their performance in the past and it just energizes you. So ladies and gentlemen, sit back and be ready to enjoy their performance. 여러분, 이런 특별히 코로나 때문에 우울하고 할 때 이런 곡을 정말 힘껏 치시면서 스트레스도 날리고 코로나도 날릴 수 있는 이런 분들 너무 부럽습니다. 이분들 공연하실 때 아주 편안하신 마음으로 이 공연, 난타 공연과 함께 오늘 우리 코로나 스트레스 팍 다 날려버리는 이 시간이 됐으면 합니다. 여러분, 난타 뜨거운 박수로 부탁드립니다. 맞이해주시기 바랍니다.
잠잠할 순 없어 오늘도 돌아온 내일이었네 인생은 지금이야
뭐였어요?
사람도 지나갔지 그 추억이 쉬어서 슬픈 행복이야 나이는 사랑 나는 진짜 가슴이 뛰는데 지금 어디서 슬픔이야 나는 너의 인생을 노래는 가슴이 뛰는데 사랑이 들어오지 사랑도 지나갔지 그 추억이 쉬어서 슬픈 행복이야 나이는 사랑 나는 진짜 가슴이 뛰는데 지금 어디서 슬픔이야 나는 너의 인생을 노래는 가슴이 뛰는데
뜨거운 박수 부탁드립니다. 와, 여러분 스트레스 확 달렸나요? 근데 승리 서울 스트레스 네, 이쪽으로 대장해 주시면 좋겠습니다. 네. 네, 감사합니다. 제가 하실 동안에 제가 또 행사 진행하겠습니다. 네, I hope that helped just totally just get rid of every bit of stress you guys had in your bones and your blood vessels, the blood streams. That was great. Thank you so much. And at the end, they're going to be closing our program, so we look forward to a little bit more. 이 시간에는 우리 준비하는 동안에 우리 내빈들을 잠깐 소개해드리겠습니다. 우리 저쪽 테이블에 우리 한인회 전직 회장들 다 계시는데 잠깐 일어서 주시겠습니까? 우리 한인회 전직 회장님들, past president of the Korean American Association. They've been here for so many years. Thank you so much. 그리고 나머지는 제가 다 소개하고 나서 끝에 박수 치시길 부탁드립니다. And I'm going to introduce the rest, and please hold your applause until I introduce everyone, okay? 자, 우리 타쿠마 한인 회장님 원희종, 죄송합니다. 그 다음에 페르웨이 한인 회장님 김영민 회장님, 상공회소 회장님 개전 오셨고요. 그 다음에 군산 자매도시 위원장님 김국수님 오셨고, 전북 파견관 최정일님 오셨고요. 네, 그 다음 다 일어서세요. 박수는 안 치지만. 네, 그 다음에 민주평통 시애틀협회 김성훈 회장님 오셨고요. 대한군의 신도영 전 회장님 오셨고요. 그 다음에 부동산협회 백정선 회장님 오셨습니다. 다 일어나셨어요? 네, 감사합니다. 뜨거운 박수 부탁드립니다. 네, 완벽했다. 여러분들의 은사와 수고 정말 감사드립니다. 여러분들이 계시기에 우리 한인 사회가 반갑습니다. What's not in here, I'm not going to do, okay? 자, 그리고 I would also, other than the elected officials who will be speaking, I'd also like to recognize the Chief of the Seattle Police Department, Adrian Diaz. Thank you so much for being here, Chief. And now we have to deliver congratulatory remarks from the Korean government. We have Hyun Sang-an, Deputy Consul General of the Korean Consulate in Seattle. 그동안 여러모로 1인 2역을 담당하시고 수고해주시는 안현상 부총영사님, 우리 박수로 맞이해주시기 부탁드립니다. 좋은 지속입니다.
네. 오늘 이런 멋진 행사를 개최해주신 시애틀 한인회 여러분께 감사의 말씀을 드리고요. 퍼스트 리스폰더들께도 너무나 감사의 말씀을 드립니다. 이분들을 위해서 제가 영어로 이렇게 축사를 드리겠습니다. Those valuable guests who are the first responders to serve our community, my fellow Koreans and my fellow Korean Americans, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great honor and pleasure to congratulate you on holding tonight's event, Arirang. I would like to take this opportunity to accept my deepest gratitude to the first responders of our community for joining and to the Seattle, Washington State Korean Association for organizing this wonderful event. As we may all know, December is a time when the daylight is the shortest and when the cold season begins. But it is also the time of giving and sharing neighborly love, especially at Christmas. We believe the first responders sitting in front of us are fine examples of those giving and sharing neighborly love. As you can see from the famous saying, the deeper the night, the brighter the star, winter as the darkest season is also the season when we come up with new hopes and brace ourselves for the new year. I believe that herein lies the beauty of tonight's event, being held in the darkest season, when we can express our appreciation to the first responders and share our neighborly love among one another. I'm deeply convinced that we must offer thanks to the first responders, such as police officers, local firefighters, frontline workers, and those who serve our communities beyond this event. I speak with conviction that the work of thanking the first responders and serving the community are one of the core works that must be carried on. I know a saying that what leads us to the past is our memory, while what leads us to the future is our dream. Let us always remember and extend our gratitude to the contributions made by the first responders. And also, let us cherish our dear dreams to make this community better. Tonight, I state with confidence that you have the full support from the Korean Consulate General for tonight's initiative, and I would like to underline that there will be always, that we will always stand shoulder to shoulder to join this noble cause of better serving the community and thereby strengthening the US-Korean relations for many years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. He has been incredibly busy these past few months, and so really thank you. 다시 한번 부총장님 진심으로 감사를 드립니다. 네, 다음은 우리 한인 사회가 미래가 어떻는지 잠깐 엿볼 수 있는 그런 시간이 되겠습니다. 우리 차세대들이 우리 아시안 범죄 혐오에 대한 거, 그 다음에 돌아가는 걸 보면서 나름대로 이런 future leaders of Korean American community를 모여서 자기네들이 프로젝트를 한 게 있습니다. 그래서 느끼고 배운 것을 이 시간 발표하는 시간이 되겠습니다. Our young people from the Korean American community, they got together and they got involved in the issues that are facing our community. And they wanted to address things like anti-Asian hate, other issues that are happening in the pandemic. So here to share their experiences, please welcome Caitlin Ye, Joseph Yoon, and Catherine Hay. Yeah, I need to get the whole thing for this.
When I applied to K-Flow, the Korean American Future Leaders of Washington program that the Seattle, Washington State Korean Association was sponsoring, I thought it would be a unique new opportunity to learn about my heritage. After attending K-Flow, I learned about Korean American immigration, history, and current legislation in the works to support Korean Americans. I really enjoyed reading Memoirs of a Cashier about the 1992 LA riots, as it opened my eyes to the history and discrimination Korean Americans have faced. Additionally, meeting producer Joseph Jun and watching his documentary film, Geronimo, about Geronimo Lim Kim, who was born in Cuba as the son of indentured servants and joined the Cuban Revolution, helped me to discover a new world of the Korean diaspora. Each student had to come up with their own project to combat AAPI hate and/or spread Korean culture. My project was to create a mural in downtown Tacoma. I believed that a mural would be a statement celebrating Asian American culture while also making obvious the current movement #StopAAPI Hate. Although this mural would not directly educate people about hate crimes, it would spread awareness of the issue and inspire them to educate themselves. I thought creating a mural would be simple, especially since Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland connected me with the city's arts director. However, I was met with obstacles, learning that it's not easy to paint a mural on public buildings, as it needs to be widely supported by the community. I am still in the process of figuring out how this mural will come to life, whether it be connecting with prominent Asian Americans in the city, or using my platform as a Tacoma School Board student representative to endorse this mural. Through this project, I have learned the lesson that we as a community need to work together as a team, otherwise we cannot create positive change. More importantly, I have learned about Korean American heritage, and am proud that in our short history, we've been able to overcome many hardships and have come to play an important role in American society today. As a Korean American, I want to be a future leader who is able to advocate on behalf of the Korean American community. Lastly, I would appreciate support to be able to create this mural before I leave for college in the summer, making use of the grant I received and increasing awareness of beautiful Korean Americans in my Tacoma community. Thank you.
Safety first.
As a rising junior at my high school, North Creek High School, I participated in K-Flow over the summer, and I feel like it really helped out me find myself in high school and really just being able to be in that community. And I have no regrets towards participating in K-Flow. It was a really good experience for me overall. I feel like K-Flow was an addition to my identity of exploration and helped me to identify the issues around API hate crime. The project I started is still ongoing strong, and I'm still going through with what I started. My project is about providing the API in North Creek High School with a safe space to gather and to be able to feel comfortable to share with others about our experiences with API hate and to come up with solutions to stop hateful incidents at our school. I have taken time to meet with certain clubs and certain people such as the North Creek High School Korean and Japanese members, and we are now developing Asian Advocates and Allies Club. They've been the most help to me so far. I'm very thankful for K-Flow's guidance to develop a plan and for the generous grant to engage students. I set a goal of attracting 15 students to my Safe Space meeting, and 30 students attended the first Safe Space meeting. This blew my mind. And over the weeks of doing these Safe Space meetings, I saw an increase in students wanting to join our club, so this was amazing. Throughout these Safe Space meetings, I've asked simple questions to start off as in, what has affected you through API hate? What have you seen, and what have you done? Some of these things are just, it really hurts to see what high school students, and even before they were high school students, as in middle school students, what they've gone through. Things such as hate towards how they feel about their food or how it smells, and just in general, just seeing that hate and jokes thrown towards them has been very hurtful to me. So through these meetings, I feel like they've been able to talk, and they've become more open as these meetings have gone by. Right now, we are expanding to get more students involved in fighting against API hate. Overall, I was able to amplify the voices of API at North Creek High School. I am also thankful for the API community and everything that they are doing to make our problem solved. Thank you.
최근 FBI 자료에 따르면 2020년 반아시아인 혐오 범죄가 73% 증가했습니다. COVID-19의 발병은 아시아의 외국인 커뮤니티에 대한 숨어있던 조직적 인종차별을 불러냈고 전국적으로 우리 한인 커뮤니티에도 영향을 미쳤습니다. 코리안 아메리칸들이 미국에 이민 온 지 100년 이상 되었음에도 불구하고 우리는 여전히 외국인 취급을 받고 있습니다. 이음에는 해법이 없지만 교육이 시작될 수 있는 출발점이라고 생각합니다. 이 점이 바로 제가 K-Flow, Korean American Future Leaders of Washington을 생각하게 된 이유입니다. 학교 교육 과정에 한인사가 포함되어 있지 않기 때문에 우리는 다음 세대로서 인권 운동에 대해 배우고 인종차별과 싸우고 규탄하는 데 함께해야 합니다. 시애틀 워싱턴주 한인회는 10개 이상의 AAPI 단체와 협력하여 시애틀 센터에서 커뮤니티가 조직한 첫 집회를 이끌었습니다. 정치인, 경찰서장 그리고 지역사회의 여러 지도자들이 집회를 지지하러 와서 좋은 범죄에 맞서 싸울 것을 약속했습니다. 그렇지만 한 번의 행사로는 미국 역사에 깊이 박힌 인종차별과 고정관념을 분별할 수는 없습니다. 우리는 코리안 아메리칸 역사를 배우고 그에 반대하고 목소리를 낼 수 있도록 노력해야 합니다. 그리고 시민 참여 활동을 높이는 것입니다. 우리는 코리안 아메리칸 커뮤니티를 공모하는 리더십 기술도 메릴랜드 스트리클랜드 하원 의원님께 배웠습니다. 우리는 교육을 통해 정치, 문화, 역사와 더불어 정체성 시민 참여에 대해 배웠습니다. 우리는 리더로서 성장하고 인터뷰 계획 및 커뮤니티 기축에 대해 배웠습니다. 기회를 주신 시애틀 한인회 회장님과 이사님들께 감사드립니다.
와우! 여러분, 우리 한인 사회의 앞날이 정말 밝습니다. 정말 대학생들도 아니고 고등학생들이 이런 이슈를 자기가 우선해서 다루고 또 느낀 점을 앞으로도 계속 일을 해내겠다는 게 정말 너무너무 자랑스럽습니다. Thank you, Caitlin, Joseph, and Catherine for your insightful reflection. Our Korean community's future looks really bright. Actually, you know what? Our American community, our community's future looks really bright. And I hope, Caitlin, that you get to do your mural. And I hope that if there's anybody here who's got connections to City of Tacoma, I don't know, police chiefs, anybody guys have connections? Please help us out. Yes, and Morningstar, if I could ask you to set up, that'd be great, 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 great. Well, we are going to have a bit more amazing performance that are getting set up for you. This is a group that needs no introduction, but it is the beautiful performances by the Morningstar Korean Cultural Center, which has been delighting audiences around the world for over 35 years as cultural ambassadors representing Korean culture and embracing our diverse global community. 우리 정말 한인 사회의 자랑이죠, 그렇죠? 거의 지난 한 37, 8년 동안 이 지역 사회에서 정말 우리 한인 문화의 그 대사 역할을 한 샛별 한인 문화원에서 전 세계를 다니면서 공연도 하고 우리 시애틀도 빛내고 또 미주 사회의 어느 단체들에도 가서 우리 한인 사회를 우리 한인 문화를 정말 빛내는 그런 멋진 그룹입니다. 여러분 이제 준비된 것 같으니까 Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Morningstar Korean Cultural Center. 뜨거운 박수로 맞이해 주시기 바랍니다. Did you see the instruments? You've got, I guess what we call like a Western or modern, and you've got the kayagum. Like how many strings are on there? I mean, I can barely tell one string, and yet look at all that. Look at the beautiful music it makes. Contemporary, you raise me up. We're talking about all of you first responders, first raise up. To show jazzy, to show very little Christmas, and how awesome and how blessed we are to be able to enjoy all of these kind of performances. It's because we have the differences, we bring the differences in our culture to this amazing country called America, and so I'm very proud. 음식 나눠주실 때 조용조용히 해주시기를 부탁드리겠습니다. So as they're setting up for the next performance, the organizers have prepared the dinner. And it's, as I told you, we are delighting all of your senses, including the taste buds. And it is the world famous, bibimbap. It is a mixed rice dish. And it is beautiful to see. If you open up the lid, it's gorgeous. It's also delicious. And the best part, it is healthy. It's going to be very, very healthy. So I hope you will quietly open up the lid. Can everybody open up the lids right now? 지금 열으세요. Everybody open up the lids right now. 지금 열으세요. Okay? Because I don't want the lids coming out when they're performing. This is an amazing performance we're going to see right now. 네, 특별히 공연할 때는 식사를 조용히 해주시고 지금 다 뚜껑 열어주세요. 맛도 좋고 보기도 좋고 우리 몸에 좋은 정말 우리의 자랑스러운 비빔밥 여러분 조용히 맛있게 드시고 자 우리 팀 다 열었어요? Are all the lids out now? Okay, let's hurry up. I'm gonna give 15 more seconds. 다 뚜껑 열으셨어요? All the lids out? I don't want those lids making noises but this awesome team performs. Okay. Alright? 네. 그러면 여러분 다시 한번 뜨거운 박수로 우리 색깔 여러분 맞아주시기 바랍니다. Ladies and gentlemen, Morningstar Korean Cultural Center. minutes. Next to the last one. Those of you, everybody know how to eat the bibimbap? All you do is take that beautiful looking dish, you just mix it up. Like a tossed salad. You just mix the rice and everything in there, and then you enjoy it. I noticed they passed out chopsticks. If you need spoons, raise your hands. Right? If not, give it a try. How's dinner? Is it good? 맛있어요? Woo! Yeah, I want to see the thumbs up. You know what? 고추장이 안 한대요. So 제가 그래서 고추장을 여러분들에게서 영상으로 전달합니다. You see, there's a little sauce there called gochujang. It's that spicy chili paste. Unfortunately, it looks like the caterers forgot to bring it. But it's okay. It's not absolutely critical because it still tastes like a beautiful rice salad. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. 우리 고추장 드셔야 하는 한국 분들은 조금 맹맹하겠지만 그래도 우리 나물하고 비벼서 먹으면 꿀맛이에요. 네, 여러분 고추장 원하시면 밥 한 번 드시고 영상 고추장 보시고 또 식사하시고 맛있게 드시기를 부탁드리겠습니다. 네, 많은 분들을 위해서 행사를 하게 보면 또 이런 오차도 생기니까 고추장이 없더라도 조금만 기다려주시고 여러분들 이해해 주셨으면 감사하겠습니다. You know, when you're trying to bring meals for so many people, it happens, so let's just hang in there. So, I said, you know, 고추장 오고 있대요. 꼭 원하시는 분들은 기다리시고 아니면은 지금 보세요. I'm being told that that little red paste sauce is on its way. But if you don't need it, please enjoy the meal. 여러분 어때요? 즐거우세요? 네, 오, 땡큐 스트레스 하게 달리세요? Alright, so to continue to help your appetite and also to just please our ears and eyes, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Morningstar Culture Center. 닫지 마시고 밑에 해놓으시면은 나중에 쓰레기 버릴 때 도움이 된답니다. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not put the lids back up because there's so much going to be a lot of garbage. So just put the lids on the bottom of your bowls when you're finished, okay? All right, thank you very much. And next, I would also like to recognize we have some of our elected officials who would also like to congratulate and also pay tribute to our first responders this evening. We are so lucky and honored to have several elected officials amongst us. And first will be Senator Curtis King from the Washington's 14th District. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Honorable Curtis King. I'm going to have to give you a mic. Hey, this is representative of our 행사를 여기까지 오셨는데 다시 한번 우리 대통령 커리스 킹 뜨거운 박수 맞이해주세요.
Well, good evening. It is truly an honor to be here tonight. What a very distinguished group of people that are all feeding your face right now, but that's a good thing. So, this is a night of celebration, a night of kind of reflection, a night to say thank you, and a night for recognition. And first off, I would like to recognize the Korean American community for all of the contributions that you have made to our country, and particularly the contributions that you have made to the citizens of the state of Washington. I thank you for that. You have truly made Washington State a better place to live. And I'm honored that we're honoring our first responders. And Chief, my political statement, we need to provide you with the tools and the people that you need to be able to do your job. And I'll leave it at that. It's appropriate that we thank our first responders because we don't do that often enough. I honestly believe that we take them for granted way too often. And we need to have more opportunities like this to say thank you for the efforts and all of the things that they do to keep us safe, to keep us in our homes, and to respond to those of us when we have an emergency. And I can't thank you enough for all that you do. But I thought about that as I drove over here this afternoon. I thought, well, it's just absolutely fabulous that we're honoring our first responders. But I thought about, the people that come in behind them, or maybe with them, that provide shelter and clothing and food, and take care of the needs of the people that truly need it. And we should be honoring them as well. And it is my firm belief that the Korean American community has set for us an example of how you do that. How you respond to those that truly need the services that your community volunteers provide. You have set an example that is exemplary, and an example that we, as the rest of the state of Washington, need to follow. And I thank you profusely for that. Again, thank you for the opportunity to be with you tonight. I truly am honored to be here, and let's continue the celebration. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much for your nice words. And next we have King County Councilmember Kathy Lambert, who has for the past 20 years served the 3rd District, including city of Bend, Snoqualmie, Issaquah, Sammamish, Falls City, Redmond, Carnation, parts of Woodville, where there is notable presence of Korean American business owners and residents there. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Councilmember Kathy Lambert.
thank you so much for the opportunity to be here tonight. This is really very, very special. And I want to thank you for the wonderful citizens that you are in our communities. You're always there when we need help. You're there with your children. I'm a former school teacher, and I know that when I sent homework home, it was always done, and I appreciate that. And you make sure that the values that you hold dear are part of how you live every single day, and that makes our communities richer. I am very blessed tonight to have been here to hear your presentations and the beautiful performances. So I appreciate that. Tonight's the 54th, as you know, celebration of our first responders. Our first responders are there every single day for us, and we appreciate you. And I think the thing as a community that we can do, there's a lot of things happening in our communities right now, where they're talking about changing what laws we have, deciding which laws we enforce, which laws we won't enforce. That's frightening language. And when you start to hear that, as a community, you need to be able to step in and say, that's not okay. The law's on the books, it needs to be enforced. When they talk about defunding the police, we need to talk about what we think about that as a community. That's how we can support them. When COVID hit, they ran in, they were in my neighborhood, not my district, but in my neighborhood, at my hospital, when they had the first people going in for COVID. Those officers and firemen that were the first on the scene, I talked to them, and they knew that they were going into something and they weren't really sure what it was, because they were concerned, and they continued day after day to go in. So firemen, policemen, paramedics, I thank you each and every day. Adrian, I've known you a long time, and I appreciate you. I've watched your heart and your dedication through all kinds of different jobs that you've had in the department, and you're a true leader. And I hope that you will always feel the backing of every single person in this county, because you set the tone for what happens here. So thank you to our first responders. Thank you to all of you for what you mean in the community. It has been a pleasure to serve you a total of 27 years, and now I retire. So thank you so much.
Councilmember Lemon, thank you so much. Sorry, I only knew you were from the county council. 27 years, well, very best wishes to you in the new year. Is Councilmember Von Reichlauer here? Okay, and is Mayor Jennifer Gregerson here? Yes, yes. If I could ask you to take come over here and I'd like to next introduce Peter Kwan. He's the Deputy Mayor from the city of SeaTac. We're delighted to have our fellow Korean American as Deputy Mayor of an amazing city, a very important city. If we all we flew through, or we drive through SeaTac. 우리 한인사회의 참 자랑스러운 SeaTac의 부시장님으로 봉사하시는 우리 한인사회 SeaTac 시의부시장님 Peter Kwan 맞이해 주시기 바랍니다. Peter Kwan, please come forward. Wow, man, this MC job is tough.
안녕하세요. So first, I want to thank our wonderful MC, Cheryl Lee. She's been doing such a great job tonight. Whenever I attend any event where she's the MC, I always feel energized and very uplifting because she does such a great job. So I wanted to also mention and take note that the Korean community is very good at taking initiative and self-organizing. And as a result, events like this occur that are put on by the community members, and I'm always thankful and grateful to be invited to these events, and it's always very uplifting and a fun time, and it's great food as well. So I'm thankful to be here, and thank you very much for inviting me here. I also want to mention a little bit about with COVID. I know that especially the Korean American community has been hit pretty hard with a lot of independent small business owners among our community members. And the good news is that it does look like the recovery is just on the horizon, very close. We've been going on, almost 2 years now, but it does look like the recovery is happening very soon, and so very hopeful there. and I'm certain that as long as we all work together and help each other like we have been, we will come out ahead stronger together. So I just wanted to, I'm not here to make a big speech, but I just wanted to make sure that the thankfulness and the grateful camaraderie and spirit is shared among all of us. And Koreans also are very good at being grateful and being thankful. And in fact, one of the first things that I remember, or I seem to remember, is when I was a child, I think one of the first things that I learned how to say before mom was thank you in Korean, 감사합니다. Right? And I'm sure a lot of the kids can relate with it. It feels like, when you're a kid, that's one of the first things that you're taught. And so I want to say thank you to everyone who are able to make this event possible. I want to say thank you to all of the elected officials who took time out to come here, and all of the community members who took their time out to come here and attend tonight, and especially thankful for all of our first responders. And I do see that our sister city of Tupola is represented, so they're our next door neighbors from Singapore. Anyway, so thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the evening. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much for giving your talk. And next we have Mayor Ferguson from our neighboring city of Mukilteo, who has served 2 terms as mayor of Mukilteo, again, which has quite a bit of Korean American presence. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome. Mayor Jennifer Ferguson. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. It's been an honor to be a part of this event tonight, both a celebration of your culture and talent, really impressive talent, and of course, an opportunity to honor our first responders. I will share the regrets of our police chief, Chol Kang, who isn't here tonight, but I'm honored as mayor to have hired our first Korean American chief in the city of Mukilteo. Chief Kang joins me in just last week, always joins me when we administer the oath of office to our new police officers and new firefighters. And it's a solemn moment. It's something I always think of when I'm taking part in that, is the sacrifice that their families make to allow them to provide that public service to our communities. And so I share my thanks to the first responders and of course their families also. And thanks again for letting me join you tonight. I look forward to the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Taking time to come and be here with us. Thank you for your leadership. All right, now, do you guys have seatbelts on your chairs? If not, you better get one. Because we're in for a treat, right? We're gonna have Master Cho Taekwondo, who's gonna be performing. I mean, if you thought America's Got Talent was awesome, you haven't seen these guys yet. So, as they come on up and set up, I have a couple of announcements to make. In the back, if you guys have not registered to vote, or if you need to verify your signature, there's an organization called KC Washington. They have a table out there where they are registered voters. So if you have not done so, please do so. 혹시 여기 계신 분들 중에서 유권자 등록을 안 하셨다든지 요즘은 유권자 등록하셔도 여러분들의 사인을 다시 한번 확인하셔야 됩니다. 그래서 여러분들 나가실 때 바깥에서 다시 한번 사인을 해주시고 나가시기를 바랍니다. Second announcement, we have this amazing photo booth out there. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's got a beautiful Korean palace in the background, and you can have photos taken, and then at the end of the evening, they are going to give you those photos in a beautiful frame. So if you have get a chance, please do go out there and enjoy. And then also, 그리고 우리 끝까지 참석하시는 분들에게 나중에 나가실 때 이 선물 꾸러미가 있어요. 여기 안에가 보니까요, 뭐 떡도 있고, 손세제도 있고, 마스크도 있고, 엄청난 선물이 많이 있어요. 그러니까 여러분들 끝까지 자리를 지키시고 즐거운 시간을 보내셨으면 합니다. 우리 조기성 사관님 태권도 공연 후에 이제 우리 오늘 오신 퍼스트 스폰서들에게 감사패 전달하는 시간을 가지겠습니다. Right, ladies and gentlemen? I think we are ready. So, as I said, fasten your seatbelts, get ready, and then after this, we're gonna do our certificates of appreciation, and we're gonna meet some of our first responders that are here this evening. 네, 그러면 여러분 뜨거운 박수로 조기승 태권도 팀 맞이해 주시기 바랍니다. Master Joe's 태권도. And now, as we save the best for last. This is where we are going to be presenting certificates of appreciation and honoring our first responders who are extra special to Seattle, Washington State Korean Association. As you heard from President Susan Lee, her administration began with the COVID-19 pandemic. So everyone, especially our first responders, have sacrificed so much. And we have this appreciation this hour to really, again, they should be recognized, as you know earlier, they should be recognized 24/7. We want to take this moment to say thank you to them. Now we sent invitations to many, but many did not, were unable to come to be here. So I think all of you are here this evening are representing all of the first responders every day with your lives on the line to make sure that all of us are safe and healthy. Okay? Just a quick announcement. 여러분 잠깐 announcement 하겠습니다. 우리 감사패와 감사장을 전달할 때 내 뒤에서 포토송이 있어요. 사진 찍으신 분들은 좀 조용히 선물도 좀 나눠주세요. 그리고 선물은 끝에 좀 나눠주시겠습니까? 지금 하시지 마시고요. 네, 선물 나눠주시는 거 멈춰주세요. 나중에 가시는 분 해주세요. 네, 자. Chief of Linwood, Jim Nelson, Police Chief of Tukwila, Eric Trevor, Fire Chief of Bothell, Bruce Kuhn, and Deputy Fire Chief of Bothell, Rich Noble. May I ask all of you to come up on the stage? Please come forward. 여러분들 이분 다 기특하고 수고하고 해주시기 바랍니다. Round of applause for our officers. And yes, Chief Adrian here, please come forward. Because there was a little bit of confusion as to who was all going to be here. Talk about harassment, peace not being done appropriately. Alright, 자, 이 시간에 오신 분들에게 저희들이 어떤 사람들은 RSVP가 있었고 어떤 사람들은 없었어요. 없어도 할 수 없습니다. Okay? 자, it's a certificate of appreciation presented to you. On the 11th day of December 2021 by Seattle Washington State Korean Association in recognition of your leadership and service to your respective cities, right? Seattle, Edmonds, Broward, Linwood, all of you. Thank you very, very much. I'm Susan Lee, President, and Board Chair, Yun-Sung Hong. So, Jim Nelson, will you please come forward? 네, 우리 Jim Nelson, 미국의 프리스티지입니다. Yes, gotta get the photo there. Right. Thank you so much, Chief, and continue to keep us all safe. Next. Thank you. Right. Eric Trevor, Police Chief of Tukwila, is that correct? Yes, Chief. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. 네, Tukwila'의 부장님입니다. All right. Yes. Thank you very, very much. Oh, continue to please stay here. We're not going to go afterwards. Please continue to stay here, okay? All right. Thank you. Next. All right. And Bruce Kuhn, Fire Chief of Bothell. Hey, Fire Chief, thank you so much. Yeah. Yes, together. Yes. Thank you. 감사합니다. And last. And you know what? 여기 있어요? 이분 있어요? Alright, so, okay, we're going to do, unfortunately, Chief Diaz, we had a little bit of a confusion on who's all going to be here. So I'm just going to say this. Chief Diaz, thank you very much. Alright? 네, 우리 시애틀, Chief Police Adrian Diaz에서 오셨는데, 우리 감사드리죠. Yeah, we will present to you later, okay? Sorry we didn't have it this evening. Right? And then last but not the least, right? We have, is it? 됐어요? 네. All right, how about a group photo right here? 여러분, how about a round of applause? 자, 일어나세요. Let's all rise and say thank you very much to all of our first responders. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. 우리가 사회에서 여러분들이 계시기 때문에 우리가 안전하게 지켜야 돼요. 그리고 앞으로도 좋은 관계를 유지했으면 좋겠습니다. So Fire Chief, Police Chief, all of you, I ask you to continue to work very closely with our great recognition of all of our community to keep us safe and healthy. Thank you so much. 감사합니다. And we also have some gifts for you on your way out there, so it's great. 여러분 정말 감사합니다. 이렇게 일어나셔서 이분들을 이렇게 또 리스펙해 주시고 이분들에게 고마움을 표현해 주시고 정말 감사합니다. 우리 한인 사회 모든 분들은 정말 자랑스럽습니다. 이분들을 귀하게 여기고 앞으로도 우리가 이런 소장님들과 더 돈독한 관계를 유지해야 우리 한인들이 안전하고 더 자유롭게 생활할 수 있으리라고 생각합니다. 자, 다음은 우리 홍민섭 이사장님. 네네네네. 자, 그 다음에는 누구 가보셨어요? Okay. So can I have David Bitterer? May I have Terry Jones? And may I have Nathan Nagy? Please come forward. Okay. David Bitterer, Terry Jones, and Nathan, is it Nagy? Please come forward. 네. 스토리라는 단체가 우리 한인 사회의 자영업들 분들을 이렇게 애드바이징하고 카운슬링하는 그런 일들을 오시는 분들께서 우리 한인 자영업하시는 분들에게 애드바이스도 주시고 도움을 주시는 분들인데 우리가 이 시간에 우리 홍현선 이사장님께서 분들에게 감사장을 전달하겠습니다. So I'm just going to read one of them in recognition to David Fitterer, SCORE, S-C-O-R-E volunteer, in recognition of your business mentoring service to the members of the Korean business community in 2021. Do we have David here? Alright, please come forward. David, everybody come forward. Come on up to the stage. Come on up to the stage. I ask all of you guys to come to center and be recognized for your awesome volunteer. Thank you so much. Alright? David? Alright, and Terry? David? And we have one more? Is that here? Okay. Great. Come on, mobile zone. There you go. 이분들은 우리 한인 자영업들에게 비즈니스 멘토링을 해주시고 어떻게 하면 더 효율적으로 비즈니스를 하실 수 있는지 시간을 내셔서 volunteer 해주시는 분입니다. 우리 다시 한번 감사하는 마음으로 Thank you very much for your work volunteering in your system. Alright? Okay. So if I can ask you to go down there, we have a nice packet of gifts waiting for you. 자, 다음은 if I could ask Lori Wada, if I ask Kim Sauer, and is it Helen Chung from Rite Aid? May I ask the three of you to come on up here to the stage? Larry Wada, Kim Sauer, and Helen Chung, and please come forward to the center. 네, 앞으로 가주세요. 네, 이사님, 네, 가주세요. 저 갈게요, 순서대로. 이사님, 또, alright. 자, 여러분, 지난 2년이 참 힘들었죠, 그죠? The past 2 years of the pandemic was, I'm gonna say this word, it was shitty. It was terrible. 참 정말 안 좋았어요, 그죠? 진짜, 안 좋았어요. 그렇지만, 많이 behind the scene, 소리 없이 조용히 우리 한인 사회를 우리 모두를 위해서 봉사하시는 분이 계셨기에 오늘날 이 시간에 우리가 건강하게 이 자리에 함께 할 수 있는 것입니다. 그리고 first responder에게도 감사드리고 또 특별히 우리 이사장님과 우리 회장님께서 이 세 분을 모셨습니다. 오늘 제일 먼저 우리 마라 선생님은 우리 taskforce 팀 리더로서 저희 워싱턴주 커머스 디파트먼트에서 상품부에서 $3 million 그런 걸 우리 한인사회 자영업자들에게 해주시고 하는 팀 리더를 해주셨어요. 그래서 귀하는 워싱턴주 상품부가 지원하는 소수계 상공인 경제회복 지원 정책에 참여하여 한인 상공인들에게 도움을 주기 위해 코비드-19 태스크포스를 구성해 코로나 팬데믹으로 어려움에 처한 한인들에게 큰 도움을 주었으며 한인 한국사의 전략 신장의 발전에 크게 기여했기에 깊은 감사의 뜻을 담아 이 회를 드립니다. Grateful appreciation to Lori Wada, presented by Mr. Hong. Lori, thank you so much. And then next is to Kim Sauer, in recognition of her business mentoring services to the members of the Korean business community. Kim, come forward. And 회장님, present to Kim Sauer. 네, 감사합니다. Thank you so much. And last but not least, in this very location, in this summer, there was over 1,000 people who came to get their COVID vaccinated administered. And not just once, but got the follow-up. And the partnership was thanks to Helen Chung and Rite Aid. And I believe there are many of the nurses and the assistants that are here this evening. Where are you? Please stand. Where are you? It's not just Helen, she needs a team of people. That's right. Thank you very much for being here and for all your great work. That because of that, we're able to be here, right? We're able to celebrate tonight. So, Helen Chung, thank you very much. 네, 한번 부르고 우리 다 같이 단체 사진. 회장님 네, 우리 우현수 대표님 대신에 장세민 대표님 여기 앞으로 나와주시기 바랍니다. 우리 빨리빨리 나와주세요. Okay, this is the last of our presentation. And we're going to have more entertainment and more fun. 자, 그러면 이거 프레젠테이션 할 겁니까? 아니네요. 저기 올해도 그리고 많은 단체에서 우리 백신 맞을 때 여러분들 필요한 손 세제, 마스크. Can you think of over a million masks? That's a lot of masks. And so it's many of the business people in our community and international trading company owners who have donated so that all of us can stay safe and healthy. 우리가 안전할 수 있도록 마스크 굉장히 쉬운 거 아니잖아요. 그리고 손 세제 여러 가지 무신약으로 도와주신 대표님들 두 분의 이 시간 감사하겠습니다. Okay. I'm going to do a word of appreciation to E6 Equity CEO Willie Cho. Kathy Cho is here on his behalf. You have been a great help to the local community suffering during the state of emergency COVID pandemic. We are presenting this plaque as a token of our deep gratitude for your dedication and contribution. 여러분, 네, E6 Equity, thank you. 네, 그 다음에 제 생각에 우선수 대표님 대신 장세민님께서 네, 받으셨습니다. 이하동문, 시아로 씨푸. Yes, gotta do the right thing for the photo. 제대로. Alright. 네, together. Gotta get the photo in there. It's remarkable. 하여튼 여러분 다시 한번 감사드립니다. 그 많은 마스크와 우리 한인사의 모든 분들이 안전할 수 있도록 열심히 도와주셨습니다. You know, the strength of the community can be seen during times of crisis, right? Like the pandemic, where our business community, our volunteers all came together so that we can overcome this. And I'm just so proud of our business leaders and of our leaders out here. Thank you. 감사합니다. 들어가 주십시오. And the final program 마지막 순서로 여러분들 반복하겠습니다. There's a photo zone out there. If you guys want your photos, please go take. They will have a beautiful frame photo for you. And then also those of you need a signature verification or register to vote. Please, there's a table for you to register to vote. 여러분들 유권자 등록하신 분들은 사인을 다시 하셔야 돼요. 그래서 나가시면서 꼭 사인하시고 나가셨으면 좋겠습니다. 네, 한원석 위원장님 빨리 앞으로 나와주시기 부탁드립니다. 네. So again, for the next administration of the Seattle, Washington State Korean Association, we're going to bring to the stage Chairman of the Election Committee, Mr. 원석 한. 우리 한원석 선관위원장님께서 선관위 발표를 해주시겠습니다. 여러분.
Michelle, I want to think that you had a great message ceremony. Thank you very much. Please come up, please. 오늘 선관위 발표를 하기 전에 지난 10월달에 우리가 선거 관리위원회 조정을 가지고 그 이후에 5명의 선거 관리위원이 있었습니다. 제가 리건과 저를 통해서 5명이 이 대목과 같이 일을 보면서 아주 훌륭한 인격을 가지신 분들하고 같이 일을 하게 돼서 무한한 영광이고 모든 과정 하나하나가 전부 투명하고 절차가 민주적으로 결정을 했기 때문에 하나도 부끄러움 없이 선거관리를 잘 해서 수행했다고 생각합니다. 한분 시작.
강승정, 유영수. 네, 여러분이 가만히 아주 빨리 올라오세요. 네, all officers, come on up. I don't want you to come out one at a time. We are efficient here. 자, 빨리 오세요. 뭐 하세요? Let me ask you. 유영수, 그 다음에 누구예요? 오케이. 이수잔, 코칭 영식이다. 준이가. 박성계. 네, 그다음 박기훈. 네, 거기 그만하세요. 스테이지 빨리 올라오세요. 네.
우리 여러분 모두 다 아시는 바와 같이 이수정 회장님이 앞으로 이사장으로 또 2년 동안 더 열심히 또 하시겠다고 아주 그 중에 지난 2년 동안 남다른 그 업적을 쌓으신 우리 이수장을 위해서 또 이분을 이사장으로 봉사하시게 되니까 너무 고맙고요. 우리 유영수 신임회장님께서는 진짜로 똑똑한 절차를 펼쳐서 똑똑한 심사를 펼쳐서 당선되셨습니다. 우리 선거관리위원회 5명 모두가 만장일치로 결의를 해서 우리 유영수 회장님을 새로운 회장님으로 모시게 됐습니다. 예. 그리고 우리 박기훈 의사장 또 다른 박선걸 우리 부수석회장 나오셨네요. 감사합니다. 이게 우리가 오늘 6분이 러닝메이트로 나오셔서 이제 부이사장 수석의장 이렇게 나오신다 2분이 안 나오셨습니다. 이분들이 차로 러닝메이트로 당선되셔서 지금 앞으로 2년 동안은 이분들이 잘 책임지고 잘 운영해 나가고 있습니다. 여러분 모두 감사합니다.
This is the officers for the next year's Seattle Washington State Korean Association.
당선증 유영수 기한은 2021년 제47대 시애틀 워싱턴주 한인회 회장당 부사장단 선거에서 회장 당선인으로 결정되었으므로 당선증을 드립니다. 2021년 12월 11일 시애틀 워싱턴주 한인회 47대 선거관리위원장 한원석, 선거관리위원 박명래, 백정선, 조기유, 차혜자. 사실 제가 45대 이사장 2년 했고 46대 회장 2년 했고 지금도 47대 이사장으로 2년을 또 봉사하기로 했습니다. 저 당선증은 그냥 이름만 갖고 받겠습니다. 시간 관계상
박성계, 그다음에 박기훈, 내년 앞으로 2년 열심히 봉사하시라고 부탁한다고 다들 나라 있으시고 단체 사진 하나 찍으시고 단체 사진 다 찍으셨어? 네, 단체 사진 하나 다 찍으시고 여러분 같이 내년에 열심히 봉사하라고 다시 한번 박수 부탁드립니다. Let's give a round of applause for the next officers. May you continue to serve our community as well or even better as you did this year. Thank you very much. 네, 감사합니다. 그리고 선관위원장님 모두를 위원회 수고하셨습니다. 감사합니다. 자, 그럼 다음 순서는 우리 보이스 그룹의 공연이 있는데 누가 소개 한 번 들지 않으셨어요? 이사장님,
예, 여러분 안녕하세요. 저는 보이스그룹의 김준혜입니다. 저희 보이스그룹은 트로트를 사랑하는 사람들을 모임으로써 시애틀한인회 안을 있습니다. 여러분들 지난 한 해 동안 또 코로나 바이러스로 상당히 고생 많으셨고요. 오늘 우리 보이스그룹의 공연을 보시고 스트레스 확 날려버리고 아주 위안이 됐으면 좋겠습니다. 제일 먼저 우리 보이스그룹의 회장님이신 양혜영 회장님의 원점으로 캠프를 끊어보겠습니다. 여러분 박수로 환영해 주시기 바랍니다. 사랑했던 그 사람을 말없이 불려보내고 원점으로 돌아서는 마음 그대입니다. 사랑을 사랑을 거리 나는 나를 정말 알고 있나. 눈물 속에 피는 꽃이 여자를 그 말 때문에 내 모든 것 배려한 채 당신을 사랑했어요.
전화가 한동안 더 빠지는 가 그리고는 나는 그 웃음에 묻는가 그저 완전 오늘이 고맙기를 하려고 죽음으로만 떠내긴 울렸다 앞에서요 세상이 왜 이래 왜 이렇게 힘들어 앞에서요 그 앞에 지금 살아내며 왜 이래 너는 자신을 너의 고운 말을 내가 어찌 알겠어 모르겠어 오라버진 산소에 제비꽃이 피었다 결국 하루 스즈로 샘노하겠느니까 그저 피는 속세를 예쁘기를 하려고 찾아오지 못한 날 부수는 것만 같아 앞에서요 세상이 왜 이래 왜 이렇게 힘들어 앞에서요 그 앞에 세월은 또왜 저래 먼저 가봐준 세상 아무나 천국 이던 세상 앞에서요 앞에서요
있어요. 고장난 벽시계는 멈추는데 세월은 멈추지 않는다. 야, 저도 참 많이 지나갔는데 너무 감사합니다. You know, there's that song says, you know, even the grandfather clock stops, the time doesn't stop. It is ruthless, and it is speeding by, and it's so true. And the last performance we have, we're going to invite the Nanta group back again for the final finale, and then we're going to close this evening. 여러분, 난타분들 뜨거운 박수로 맞이해주시기 부탁드립니다. 네, 저 여기서 여러분들께 인사드리겠습니다. I want to just say congratulations to the president and the board and all the officers of the Seattle Washington State Korean Association for an amazing evening honoring our first responders. Thank you, some of you, for still being here. Hope you all enjoy the food, the entertainment. Thank you all so much for coming. Please be healthy and safe. 여러분 이 시간까지 늦은 시간까지 함께해 주신 여러분들 정말 감사드리고 올해 회장님과 임원들과 이사장님께 진심 어린 축하를 드립니다. 참 힘겨운 2년을 그래도 열심히 봉사하시고 또 우리 주사회 분들과 손잡고 열심히 일해주셔서 감사하고 오늘 저녁 이렇게 맛있는 식사와 좋은 선물, 좋은 공연 준비해 주시느라고 모두들 수고하셨습니다. 여러분 새해도 건강하시고 우리 멋진 한 새 만들어가기 위해서 함께 하시겠습니다. 뜨거운 박수로 청해주시기 바랍니다. 강남스타일. You can dance, everybody dance. 오빤 강남스타일. 준비위원들 다 여기 올라오셔서 사진 찍으세요.
자, 우리 이승영 MC한테 박수 좀 부탁합니다. 계신 분들이라요. 그리고 전직 회장님 가시기 전에 여기 올라오셔서 사진 한 장 찍고 가세요. It's 46. 빨리요. 빨리. 전직 회장님 여기 올라오셔서 사진 한 장 찍으세요. 기념으로. 그리고 여기 저기 부총영사님도 좀 보러 와주세요. 마지막으로. 그 다음에 이분들도 다 오세요. 빨리 일로 올라오세요. 그리고 우리 이모님들도 빨리 좀 오세요. 여기 부총영사님이랑 같이 사진 한 장 찍겠습니다. 기념으로. 저하고 약속하셨죠? 제가 소리 지르지 말라. 안 해달라고.
우리 동주동창회는 이제 선이라고 있어요. 맞아요. 저 이것도 준비했고.